a beautiful 82-degree day in Cleveland. A look from above the Quicken Loans Arena as we close in on game time. The Fan Fest continues outside on the plaza. Tonight here at the Q, it is game one of the best of 7 Eastern Conference Final Series with the Orlando Magic facing the Cleveland Cavaliers as TNT's exclusive playoff coverage continues. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert along with Doug Collins. We'll be joined in a moment by Craig Sager. It has been a long time between games for the Cavaliers, but they're ready to go, and so are we. Let's check out the McDonald's starting lineups for the Magic. Up front, Dwight Howard, who finished strong in this series against Boston. Hedo Turkoglu had a sparkling Cavaliers. The MVP LeBron James averaging 33 a game in the post. And LeBron getting ready for that traditional choreographed routine. Over the last 2 seasons, 27 and 14 in the regular season this year, and they have won 3 road games in the playoffs. Cleveland in control as we get underway. Turkoglu is on James here at the start. Well,
Dwight Howard is going to roam around and guard LeBron James. He is a brilliant passer. What a great pass there to start the game off and get Anderson Varejão an easy basket.
As the guys mentioned on the pregame, LeBron James opening up against Rafer Alston. Here is Rashard Lewis. Williams played by Alston. They double up on James. Nice pass again. Varejão is fouled, so he'll head to the line.
Now, when you play with LeBron James, you've got to find the open areas. LeBron has seen every defense there is, Marv. It's not like the Orlando's going to come out and shock him with something he hasn't seen. And they basically run a zone offense. Whenever LeBron catches that ball on the wing, you're going to see Varejão cutting, and you've seen it twice already here where he's been the recipient of a layup and now 2 free throws. And then Zydrunas Ilgauskas will look for that open area as well. So LeBron loves to pass.
Anderson Varejão a year ago was having a rough time. He'd come back from a holdout setback by injuries. Not a major factor in the rotation, but due to injuries this season, he's worked his way into the starting lineup and has had an excellent year.
And Marv, you pointed out LeBron James is on Rafer Alston, and what he's going to do, he's going to roam defensively. Look for him to be the help guy on any penetration.
Courtney Lee not able to hit, but Dwight Howard is right there.
He just pulled down the shot clock. Just what we need here is a delay. Offensive rebounding of Dwight Howard. You're going to see the shot clock collapse down there, so we'll see how long it takes for them to ball.
And play has resumed with the shot clocks along the baseline. Let's check back in with Craig.
Well, Mark, to make that transition quicker at halftime, they're going to put an entire stanchion, a new backboard, everything up at halftime. The one that's down there right now where Orlando is shooting will be wheeled off, and they'll bring the other one on. Rather than try to fix this one that they have right now, they bring an entire new one, and they're working on it right now.
That was deflected out by Orlando. There you see the baseline shot clock. And it is tough to find, as you mentioned, Doug, in the earlier days of the NBA, earlier days of the shot clock. Players weren't accustomed to it. Varejão again. Quick start for Varejão. In fact, he's the only Cavalier to attempt a shot here in the opening minutes. Alston's pass deflected. Lewis is on it. Turkoglu being played here by West. Alston for 3. Back tap but handled by Varejão. Williams, who has not put up the same kind of numbers that he put up during the regular season, an all-star campaign for Williams. They try to double LeBron. West is open for 3. Yes.
And he's played very, very well. I thought that when you looked at the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, LeBron James and Delonte West have been the 2 best offensive players on the Cleveland Cavaliers. And you could see LeBron James.
Which just happens to be the max that you'll see at the NFL Combine. So he definitely is super strong.
There's the alley-oop for Howard, thrown by Turkoglu. Craig Sager, Doug, it should be pointed out, just set a record for sideline reporters. Most appearances within a first quarter. Congratulations to Craig. Varejao again off a pass from James. Ilgauskas with the layup.
See, when you have so much attention played to LeBron James, it's going to open up areas. And Cleveland is very active cutting. That time Z gets the offensive rebound and the put back.
Lewis trying to back his way, flips it back to Turkoglu. Has it slapped away. Ilgauskas on the floor, came up with the steal. James met by Alston. Whoa, threw a bullet that nearly hit Varejao in the head. Incidentally, the official time of the delay, 8 minutes, 27 seconds. Here's West for three. Hit one from the left side of the circle and now the right.
Well, he's playing at a tremendous level right now. So confident offensively.
Ball deflected out. LeBron nearly landing in your lap.
Well, see what happens is when you have Alston on LeBron, you've got a mismatch. So now all of a sudden the floor gets tilted defensively. And what Cleveland does, they do a great job of screening and switching that ball. Here's another knockaway.
Good hands by the Cavs. West for three. Chased down by Varejao. So the Cavaliers have come out with a burst following that long layoff. Ilgauskas rebounded by Turkoglu. This is the way the Magic came out against the Celtics, Game 7 in Boston. Turkoglu way off. Rebound James. LeBron just looking to set people up. LeBron on the drive.
That's LeBron though in the open court more. That's what I talked about, the Magic transition defense. If they let him get that deep at the rim all night, they're going to be in serious trouble.
That was his first shot attempt. They double Turkoglu. Lee for three. And deflected out, last touch by Turkoglu.
They're just so active right now, Cleveland. They are locked in, getting to three-point shooters. They right now have a tremendous focus defensively.
Cavaliers have a 14-4 lead. Turkoglu trying to face guard James. LeBron comes up short and one-handed by Howard. There's Howard spinning his way. Nice move. Went to the left hand.
See what he's done. He has a nice little counter move. When he comes to the lane that way and you get on that shoulder, he'll spin back, and he's developed that nice little left-hand hook shot. And Marv, when he becomes a shot maker, you won't be able to guard him because he is so powerful.
Mo Williams gets the roll. Dwight Howard did have difficulties with that hook against the Celtics because Kendrick Perkins played him so well. Played him, I thought, to a standstill at times because he's such a powerful guy. And then Howard came out strong in games 6 and 7. Here's Alston. He was looking for a contact call on Varejao. Williams on the spin. Will that count? Yes, it counts. And the foul. It's a goaltend. Mo Williams ready to argue, and Ken Mauer said, no, I said it's a goaltend.
Well, this is the Mo Williams that Mike Brown and these Cleveland fans wanted to see. Did not play great basketball in the first 2 rounds. He was brilliant in the regular season. And he's the #2 scorer on this team behind LeBron James, giving him a legitimate second score at almost 18 a game in the regular season. But Marv, he has not been as sharp offensively the first 2 playoff series. Tonight off to a nice start. He had a little floater in the lane, now to three-point play.
He says not a problem, and Mike Brown said the same, but he is playing through that injured left shoulder, which may have had an effect in the postseason. Here's Lewis. Played well by Varejao. Ilgauskas with the rebound. James going right at Howard, keeping it alive, and now handled by Lewis.
That's what Dwight Howard brings to this Magic team. He's one guy that can really defend at the rim against the LeBron James because he has the strength to take that hit.
Oh, what a move by Dwight Howard.
You see, Z does not have the foot speed. And you talked about it, Mark. One of the things Kendrick Perkins did, he got his body on him and he bodied up against him. What you're seeing Z do is he's giving him space. And so the quickness now really works in Howard's favor.
Here's Williams for the teardrop. Alston pushing it. 3-on-2 for the Magic. Alston is open for 3. Yes. Great for Alston, who had a strong Game 7. Up in Boston, 15 points, 3 threes, 4 assists. And that shot leads to a Cavalier timeout.
Well, Dwight Howard, look at the space he's got. He just faces up that little quick jab step. He goes to that left hand again. And this is where the concerns of Mike Brown are. Those open threes in transition. Orlando is a tough.
The biggest thing that we try to do with Cleveland is try to keep LeBron out of the paint. And, you know, once you do that, you don't allow him to be able to get to the basket and dunk the ball or find other guys for wide open shots. And I think we all make a great effort of making sure we, you know, close the paint off. You know, but playing against a great player like LeBron, you know, you don't want him to get going.
18 to 18 feet away from the basket. When they start scrambling defensively, Cleveland does a great job cutting. They have 12 points in the paint here of the 19 early in this game.
And now Mikal Petras has come on for Orlando, and he opens up defending on LeBron. Through that beautiful skip pass to Ilgauskas. And LeBron has opened up as a playmaker. That's his 4th assist. Petras will have a hot hand in Game 7 against the Celtics. Knocks down a 3.
That three-point shot is the great equalizer. You get hot 3 or 4 times down and you can get into a lead very quickly. Back-to-back threes by the Orlando Magic.
Petras 6 of 7 the other night. 3 of 3 from the three-point line. Ilgauskas came up short. Howard with the rebound. It's a 21-14 Cavalier lead as we come up on 4 minutes to play in the first. Howard rejected by Varejao. The save for Ilgauskas. Here comes West going late at lead. Oh, from behind. Howard with the rejection.
And almost a replay when you see the mask of Courtney Lee. Remember, Dwight Howard came down on him and crushed his sinus. He was out with surgery. Watch here. It almost happens again. This time he gets him in the back of the head. Courtney Lee goes, "That's my own teammate." But that's what Dwight Howard will do. He will track you down on the break with that speed and quickness. LeBron does the same thing. Blocks a lot of shots from behind in the open court.
Courtney Lee finally getting back into the starting lineup. James rejected. That will count. It's a goaltend on Howard. And for LeBron, his first field goal. Let's check in with Craig.
Well, Mark, just prior to that last timeout, a piece of a bolt was found underneath one of the baskets. And Bennett Salvatore, the crew chief, stopped the game, went over and talked to the officials from the arena. They went up and made sure that all the cameras were locked down tight so nothing would happen, nothing would come down later. But they did find a piece of bolt on the court.
For those who may have just joined us, we had an 8.5-minute delay at the start of the game. A tip by Ilgauskas because following a dunk by Howard, the 24-second clock on the top of the backboard came falling down to the floor. And the 24-second clocks have been placed on the baseline as Howard is fouled. It's on Varejao. That's his first.
Well, the concerns of Stan Van Gundy right now defensively have to be the fact that Cleveland's guards, LeBron, Delonte West, Mo Williams, are getting in the paint. And if they don't score, even getting that ball up at the rim, the second chance opportunities, that's 8 second chance points now here for the Cleveland Cavaliers. And Zydrunas Ilgauskas is a guy, he's such a rhythm player. Normally he has to work himself into a series. He struggled in that Atlanta series, 5 of 15 in the first 2 games. 12 of 22 the last 2. He got his shooting, but here he's getting out layups. He's got 3 layups in this game, tip-in, so he's getting into a nice rhythm just by being active.
Anthony Johnson has come on for the Magic. Wally Serbiak for Mo Williams. Petras got the step on Serbiak. Ilgauskas with the rebound. So West and Serbiak in the backcourt. James, Ilgauskas, and Varejao are up front. Here's James for 3. Yes.
That's the scary part. LeBron James has got all his teammates involved with his passing. He has come out and moved the ball. He has 4 assists here early. And you know he's going to get his points. I mean, this is one of those guys that can throw up a triple-double at any time. Here's LeBron James with a backcourt foul.
LeBron is actually upset with himself. He did not want to make that kind of contact. And he picks up his first. It's a 7-0 run for the Cavaliers. Now Tony Battie has come on. Dwight Howard will get a... no, Howard is still on the floor up front with the two. They go with the Twin Towers, and Howard with the running hook.
I think Zydrunas Ilgauskas was looking for his help that time. Nobody got down there quick enough. If you're going to put the make him come to the middle, then somebody's got to dig down when he's on that dribble and disrupt his timing.
28-16, Cleveland. West off balance, snatched by Howard. Here's Lewis. Foul is on Serbiak, a blocking foul. 13 foul on the Cavs.
See, that's where Rashard Lewis can do his damage against Cleveland, because you're asking Anderson Varejao to play him, and his instincts are go to the offensive board, so he gets caught underneath the basket. Rashard Lewis runs out. Wally Zerbiak is slow getting there. I don't think the people here in Cleveland like the call, but you see the Game 7 that he had against the Celtics. But, you know, Mark, when he was great was in the suspension of Dwight Howard in Game 6 against Philadelphia. They put him in the post. And they don't post him much with Dwight Howard, but in that game, they put him in the post, and he was terrific down there.
Well, you can vote for which player you want to watch. Get enhanced coverage of the Eastern Conference Finals on TNT. Overtime Extra, presented by Axe, only on NBA.com. Just under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. A 28-17 lead for the Cavaliers. West able to keep the dribble alive. West with the lead pass for Joe Smith, who just checked in. Comes to Serbiak. His three off the mark. There's Lewis. Rejected by Smith. Kept alive by West. 3-on-1 develops. James with the stop. Standing ovation for LeBron James, who has put his team in front 30-17.
Well, great block by Joe Smith. That's defense creating offense. Getting out of the open court. What a great play by Joe Smith.
Howard triple team, rejected by James. Howard questions why no foul. James for three. Yes! What a display being put on here by LeBron James. At first looking to set teammates up, and he has come on. He's hit his last 4 shots, including 2 from downtown, and that sensational stuff.
Well, the defense is the calling card for this Cleveland Cavalier team. They have great defensive rotation, good shot blocking. This is what happens when LeBron James gets the open court, gets into the paint. And then LeBron, remember, he's helping off the weak side. He comes over and gets a shot block. And then he's going to get up. Nobody talking here defensively. He walks right into the three.
The 2 from downtown. 45 seconds left in the first. Petras had it slapped away. Another Cavalier deflection. James for 3. Way off. And handled by Turgler. Petras able to get down court. James tried to get him from behind. LeBron loves that chase down.
Yes, he does.
Able to catch people from behind.
And Mikael Petras sort of had the rear view mirror working there. He knew that LeBron was coming, and he went strong to the rim. Had he laid this ball up, LeBron would have blocked it. But this is a smart play from Mikael Petras here. He goes up and sits as LeBron is behind him. Doesn't try to do anything fancy, just finishes it and gets the easy 2.
Mike Brown now goes with Ben Wallace, Joe Smith, and LeBron James up front. Wallace makes his first appearance. West rebounded by Johnson. Final seconds of the first. Petrus for 3.
Well, Coach, you're concerned with the quality of shots your team was getting. You're shooting 35% in the first quarter. What type of shots are you getting?
Well, that isn't the problem. The problem's at the other end. They got 33 points. All right, 12 of their first 19 were in the paint. We're playing no defense, and we're a little bit back on our heels at both ends. I didn't like the way we played at all. They really jumped us. We did not hold our poise. We did not defend, and we got to turn it around here quickly.
LeBron started to take over the last part of that first quarter. At 4 of his last 5. What do you do against him?
Well, I don't know, but again, we're giving him too many layups. It's not him. It's not one guy. It's nothing one specific thing. We're just not playing right now.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, Mark.
All right, Craig, and 33 points for the Cavaliers equals their playoff high for any quarter. Ben Wallace called on the foul.
And Mark, what this great start does for Cleveland, it allows their bench now to come in and play. The bench has not been very potent here in the playoffs. I think Mike Brown would like to see this kind of activity here.
Off the steal, West going to take it home. So the Cavs go to the trap. And for Orlando, it's turnover number 4. Howard getting deep inside. Went right at Wallace. 35-21 Cavaliers as the second quarter gets underway. Marv Albert with Doug Collins and Craig Sager. It's game 1 of this best of 7 Eastern Conference final series. Game 2 here on Friday night. Here's Smith. Joe Smith back with the Cavaliers. He was signed after Smith asked for and was granted his release by Oklahoma City. The Cavs originally had sent Smith to the Thunder as part of that three-way deal that brought Mo Williams to Cleveland. Here's Petit with his first shot. Wallace rebounds. Williams. And by Petit.
Well, this guy right here, Hedo Turkoglu's got to get going. He has thrown up no field goal made here early. Neither has Rashard Lewis. So those two guys, key guys, 0-5 to get started. The only guy really playing offensively right now is Dwight Howard. He's 6 of 8 with 12 points. The rest of the team is really struggling. And Tony Petit is a guy that, well, they really missed him last year. He had that injury and was out, and he gives them another big guy off the bench, gives them a versatile player, can play a couple positions, very smart, and they need him to play well.
So Petit with the bucket, and he was fouled by Smith. Tony Petit in his 5th year with the Magic, had that torn rotator cuff, as you mentioned, last season in the left shoulder. One-time member of the Boston Celtics, so limited action in the series against Boston. 2 minutes gone by in the second. Shot clock to 5. Williams gets Williams off to the good start. He has 7 points.
So when you watch Cleveland, one of the things that really stands out, Marv, is they're a much better offensive team they were 2 years ago when they went to the NBA Finals. Guys can get their shots off the dribble, play pick and roll.
Once again, we see that jump hook by Dwight Howard.
But it's almost what Cleveland is doing it without coming out and saying it is. We're going to give you 2 points in the paint to take away that 3-point shooting and make Dwight Howard throw up a huge game and try to shut out Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis, and that's what they've done here early in this game.
Cavaliers averaged 100 points a game during the regular season, but what is most impressive, they shot 47%, which was among the leaders in the NBA. Howard is 7 of 9 from the field, 14 points. Going right at Smith, picks up the offensive foul. He was unhappy, thought that Smith was hand-checking him, and then Howard with the aggressive move, and he's called for the foul.
Well, Joe Smith a couple times, they've been locked up on rebounds, and Joe Smith has tried to do a great job of just face guarding him. That time, Dwight Howard, I think you got there right, that Mark, and he just got frustrated there and just lowered his shoulder and got the offensive foul.
Howard picks up his first personal. Here's Here's Smith eluding the tee. Joe Smith showing the touch.
Well, that guy can make shots. That's one of the reasons why they picked him up. He was a great guy in the locker room, but he fits beautifully with his team because of that 4 spot. He can step out and shoot the ball with all those double teams and pick and roll.
Listen, we're 1 quarter into this series. Just play. You're not going to get 14 points back in the next 5 minutes. You're going to get it possession by possession. Just play the next possession. But our effort has got to pick up a lot here. We got to run back.
Things you talked about early are tilted well in favor of Cleveland. That's why they lead by 15.
There's Howard off the double team and nearly took the backboard down.
Well, you can just see he gets in that paint. He's so strong, and if he gets himself underneath that rim, you're not going to be able to defend him.
Howard 8 for 10. He has 16 points. Williams trying to find the pick. Here's Williams. Rebounded by Howard. Anthony Johnson now at the point. Johnson and Petrus at the guards. Johnson got the hop. 4 straight points following that timeout for the Magic. It's an 11-point Cavalier lead. Good job by Johnson. Nearly took the dribble away from West. Shot clock to 5. Once again, Johnson knocks it aside. West with the recovery and just fires one up. Knew the shot clock was running down, and it is a violation.
Now, that's a definition of a bad possession right there. That's called over-dribbling, and this is when Cleveland gets themselves in trouble. If they start standing and over-dribbling, they get caught with a shot clock against them, and a bad possession that time that cost them a 24-second violation.
Only the first turnover by the Cavaliers. Good job defensively by Anthony Johnson. Here's Howard getting inside and called for steps. An offensive foul. It's an offensive foul on Howard. That's his second.
Well, you expect Dwight Howard to get fouled, but you expect him to be on the defensive end trying to defend the rim. And you can see, I guess they just said he lowered his shoulder, but that's 2 fouls on him, Mark, both of them offensive. He needs to be able to keep his fouls to where he can guard that rim, because all of a sudden you get LeBron in the game, these guys start attacking the basket. He's going to be very vulnerable to pick up that third.
LeBron James back. Anderson Varejao getting set to make his return. Serbiak. Wallace tipping it over to James. Try to slip it back. He did, and a foul. Smith will head to the line.
Well, LeBron has done a great job passing. We just saw it in the last possession, and Joe Smith is going to shoot free throws. Varejao moving, and you see the double team leaves Delonte West open for a 3. You see LeBron sort of like a quarterback directing traffic. Another 3 by Delonte West, who got off to a great start. He has 8 points in the game, and LeBron got all of his teammates involved. And you look up, but he already has 10 points and 4 assists. Still almost 7 minutes to go. So that's the scary part about LeBron, is he has the ability, Mark. We saw that quick surge where he had those 10 points. It seemed like in about a 2.5-minute period of time.
Foul was on Johnson. Smith just a 72% free throw shooter. A reminder, national coverage of the NBA playoffs continues tomorrow on ESPN. It's Game 2 of the Nuggets and the Lakers coverage beginning 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, with the Lakers coming from behind to win it last night at Staples. Friday, right here on TNT, we'll be back for Game 2 between the Magic and the Cavs, starting 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And then Saturday on ABC, Game 3, Lakers-Nuggets at 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
If Orlando's going to work themselves back into this game offensively, they've got to get Turkoglu and Rashard Lewis going. These are 2 key guys. Marv, you did the Game 7 Boston when Turkoglu was sensational with his shooting and his passing, 12 assists in that ball game. Right now, the defensive matchups have sort of flustered Orlando a little bit. They're not in sync at all offensively, except when Dwight Howard's going to work in the paint. 14 fouls now on the Cavaliers. Ray for Alston just came on, able to feed it to Marcin Gortat, who replaced Dwight Howard. And Marcin Gortat out of Poland, rookie
Actually, a second season, hardly played last year. Second season in the NBA, but has played well in limited minutes during the postseason. Here's James. And the save by Gortat. And lost his balance, stepped out.
Lamar, just to follow up with Gortat. Early in the year, Dwight Howard on a West Coast road trip with an injury missed 3 games, and Gortat stepped in and played exceptionally well, just as he did in Game 6 against Philadelphia when Dwight Howard was suspended. So don't go to sleep on Gortat. That guy can give them good minutes.
Adrianos Ilgauskas has returned. Williams and Serbiak in the backcourt. James, Ilgauskas, and Varejao now up front for the Cavs. Here's Williams, off-balance 3, and a foul is called as Varejao was pushed by Lewis. Guard Lewis called for a second, just under 6 remain.
Timeout just to try to take the crowd out of the game. Because what it does is just to his teammates, how it lifts them.
And Stan Van Gundy did just that during that spree right at the end of the first quarter. There's LeBron James with his first bucket of the second quarter. But LeBron started slowly, looking for teammates, picked up 4 assists, and then came on, hit 4 straight shots, including 2 3-pointers. And that devastating dunk. Here's Lewis, and Rashard Lewis with his first field goal.
I would like to see him do more of that. I think sometimes he settles too much for the 3. I think he has the ability to put the ball on the floor. I'd love to see him get to the free throw line more often.
They clear it out as James works on Petrus and then finds Williams. Ilgauskas to the rim.
That was on our slow motion cam.
A good first half for Adrianos Ilgauskas. 4 of 6, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Here's Turkoglu. And Turkoglu in the scoring column. That's his first bucket.
Well, as well as Cleveland has played, they're only up 10 in this game. If you think if you're Orlando, if you could get this down to about 6 going into half with a surge that Cleveland hit you with to start this game, you would be in very good position.
Cavaliers have led by as many as 16. Once again, James working on Petrus. There's James. Makes the turn and scores. It's impossible to stop.
Well, he's so strong, he just rolls right off of you. I remember I used to play Earl Monroe. He used to love to feel your body so he could spin off of you. That's exactly what LeBron did that time. Petrus bodied up, and he just rolled right off him and got the easy basket.
Gortat not able to handle, it's deflected out last touch by the Cavaliers. I would think after playing Earl the Pro, you'd be flinching after the game.
Well, you almost tried to give Earl space because he wanted to feel where you were, and then he would play off of your body. And you could see LeBron here. He gets his body up against him, and now he just sort of steps through it. And if you're going to double team him, you've got to close that double team. And Gortat did a bad job that time of coming over and double teaming. You got to make LeBron pass that ball. Looks like the Petrus just leveled Varejao on a pick.
There's Petrus. Oh, Varejao's hurt. And a foul is called. It's on Ilgauskas. Varejao took a hit in his throat.
Well, I could see this right here in front of us. You're going to see the screen right here.
As they check on Anderson, Varejao will take a break. Back to the queue in a moment.
Practice facility. I saw them bring in numerous players, working them out for the draft. Last night, after they got the #1 pick, I called Joe Safety, their PR director, and he said they were preparing in case they did not get the #1 draft. But now that they have, they're bringing in nobody else. They're going to relax for the next 6 weeks until they officially make Blake Griffin the #1 pick on June 25th. That's who they had in mind all along, but they're doing very diligent work in case they did not get that #1 pick.
All right, the LA Clippers with that injury hit season and chemistry not the best with the group that they had. But Blake Griffin, a beautiful backdoor pass from Williams to James, And it's a 50-38 lead for the Cavaliers. But Blake Griffin could certainly help to change that chemistry in a Clipper uniform.
Marv, I love those kind of plays out of timeouts. When you're a coach and you can steal baskets out of timeouts.
Petrus off the lead pass, cuts it back to 10.
Well, he has 7 points, and he was a big catalyst in that 11-0 run the other night in the fourth quarter of Game 7. He had 5 of those 11 points, and it was sensational. Had 17 points off the bench for the Orlando Magic.
There's James on the spin. Once again going right at Petrus. The basket counts and a foul.
See, Dwight Howard has 2 fouls. So we'll see what happens on this play, but if they're going to let LeBron James isolate one dribble away from the basket, that's one dribble. And that's Dwight Howard. So I talked about it before, Marv. He had 2 offensive fouls, and on that one, it's almost like he was trying to get out of the way. So 3 very ticky-tacky fouls on Dwight Howard. And LeBron James talking to Dwight Howard. Remember those 2 guys were teammates on the Olympic team this summer, won gold medals. Coach in a lot of ways. He's got 2 guys that really help him and gives him a lot of latitude. And you got to be very, very secure in your position to give your assistants that kind of authority in those huddles.
You don't see it as much in the NBA where guys delegate authority. Your son Chris, an assistant on Mike Krzyzewski's staff at Duke. But could you, as Turkoglu was able to knock it down, that's a 2-point. If you guys were coaching against each other, could you go a week and a half without talking at all?
It would be hard, but I know who his mother would be for. It wouldn't be me.
There's Williams wide open for 3. Long rebound handled by James, looking for a foul as Lee tried to knock it aside. Williams again from downtown. Good job by Lewis on a box out against Ilgauskas. There's Lewis, nowhere to go. Snapped it cross court, a bad pass, picked off by West.
2 minutes.
Here comes LeBron, and he drew the foul. Went at your top. So James to the line.
He's like a runaway freight train in the open court. And once he gets the head of steam up, Mark, we talked about it. You talk about guys like Tony Parker in this league, guys who are so fast, Chris Paul. But I'm telling you, once LeBron gets to full speed, I don't know if there's anybody that has any more speed in the NBA. I mean, you put 260 pounds and that kind of power, when he gets around that lane area, he's either going to finish or get fouled.
20 points in this first half for LeBron James. If you get taken, they take back. Timothy Hutton and his team are back in TNT's smash hit Leverage. Don't miss the new season premiere of Leverage this July only on TNT. Remember that, Doug. If you get taken, they take back. I'm just reading a card here. 12-point lead for the Cavs. Turkoglu, and he was blocked. So Hedo Turkoglu will go to the line. Foul committed by Mo Williams.
See, Hedo Turkoglu really plays so much as a point guard on this team, and you'd say, well, with Delonte West on him, why wouldn't you post him up? Well, because really he's not comfortable that much down in the post, and you can see what a barometer he is for this team. We talked about Game 7, how great he was against Boston, got him off to a great start. And then they had a great finish. They had 35 points in the fourth quarter of that game. Looked like Boston was going to make a little push. Rondo hit that jumper at the end of the quarter to make it 5 points. Everybody says, here goes the Magic again. But they are tough, and when the chips got against them in that fourth quarter, they played great basketball. Probably their best quarter of basketball when they needed it the most to get to this conference finals.
They opened up with that 11-0 burst to put it away, and Turkoglu, major factor. James has scored 10 of the Cavaliers' last 12 points. Now guarded by Lewis, and shoots over him.
If he's going to make that, you can't guard him. I mean, the guy gets in the post. I mean, he's going to drive. You've got to give him some space. You want him to be a two-point jump shooter, but he's improved his shooting so much.
Lewis, yes. You know, when you look back to when LeBron first entered the NBA 6 years ago, and there were many questions about that outside shot. questions that are not asked anymore.
Well, because he's here 3 hours and a half before the game with Chris Gent shooting in the dark. It doesn't happen by accident. You know, when he makes these kind of shots right here, you know, it's called a lot of work. Marvin, you were just in Boston. You saw Ray Allen. We've seen Larry Bird through the years. These guys who shoot the ball, they do it because they work on it every single day.
There's Alston. But obviously, it's a combination of having the skill and working at it, because you can get a guy who can't shoot going to the gym for 3 hours. It's not going to really help.
Well, we know what he's doing now. His technique is so much better, and he practices the same shots all the time. I thought as a young player, his attention to detail wasn't great. Now his attention to detail is terrific.
Playing the clock down. James again. He has scored 16 points in the last 5.5 minutes, 26 in all. Gortat with 1 second remaining. Good job by Alston, who was under pressure but got the ball to Gortat. And here's Mo Williams firing one. And scored! Well, look at it. It appeared he got it off. From the back court, Mo Williams.
See, really, they were just trading 3 for 2 on that play. They gave the dunk to Gortat. How many times do you think he and LeBron, after practice, throw up these kind of shots? Having fun. You know who used to be so good at that? Tim Hardaway was so good at those kind of shots. A lot of guys won't even take that shot because if you miss it, it counts as a missed field goal. But look at LeBron, the smile, and that's a great high going in for Cleveland after giving up a dunk to Gortat.
So it is obviously a 3-point play. The officials checking the videotape. It is a 63-48 lead for the Cavaliers. Let's go to Craig.
Then you scored 16 in the last 18 points until Mo Williams hit that 3. How do you pick and choose when you score and when you pass?
You just see how the defense reacts, man. They started off double teaming him in the post, and Andy got a layup, Andy got a foul, Delonte got 2 threes, and then they started letting me play a little bit one-on-one. So that's what my opportunity is, to be a little bit more aggressive.
We saw you at practice yesterday. You're there an hour and a half before, an hour and a half afterwards. But then you do the LeBron trick shots with Mo Williams. You do shots like that. Did that surprise you? Made that one?
Mo missed some of the easy threes he's ever missed in his life, and then he make that one. Don't make sense, but we'll take it.
Well, the basket was ruled good, and that extends Cleveland's lead at intermission. And we come back, we'll have the T-Mobile halftime report from
Delay. Kind of a disjointed first half.
Yeah, very much. No rhythm in that game, and foul trouble for Dwight Howard, and just never got in any kind of sync, the Orlando Magic. Let's see if they come out, more importantly, here in the second half defensively. They were very soft defensively in that first half.
Shot clock down to 5. Here's Lewis, and the tip by Howard. And Dwight has to be careful. He's playing with the 3 fouls. Howard with 18 points on 8. Make that 9 of 12 from the field. Now 20 points for Howard.
Well, you can see what Cleveland is doing. They're making Howard try to take contested shoot. Nice little play here that West cannot finish. But they are committed to chasing Orlando off that 3-point line.
Turgler with Howard and Lewis up front. Alston and Lee in the backcourt. Courtney Lee, the rookie out of Western Kentucky, back in the starting lineup. Stan Van Gundy going with J.J. Redick, with Lee coming off the bench in the series against the Celtics after that sinus cavity fracture. And J.J. Redick, foul is called as Ergauskas pulls Howard. J.J. Redick did not shoot well after that opening game against Boston. Had a good game 6 against Philadelphia, but did a nice job defensively against Ray Allen.
Yeah, I talked to J.J. last night. He was talking about how, his job was to just chase Ray Allen, and it really affected his offense. He was concentrating so much on his defense, and this is Dwight Howard once again going with that little hook that he's credited Stan Van Gundy with teaching him with. You asked Stan today before the game if he's happy with a couple of those hook shots he took in Boston. You said those had no chance to go in.
But he was facing Kendrick Perkins, who was pushing him off the spot that he wanted to be on. And as a result, Dwight Not able to have much success with the hook, but here, no pressure at all from Ilgauskas.
He just doesn't have the quickness, so Howard knows if he faces him up, he can get to where he wants to get on the floor, and Cleveland does not want to help on him too much and then free up the three-point shooting.
Knocked out of bounds by West. 13 on the shot clock, minute and a half gone by in this third quarter, and Orlando now within 11. They've trailed by as many as 16.
Well, when you shoot the three the way Orlando does, I mean, that can go in a hurry, so Cleveland better not lose focus here defensively. And now also a little screen and roll, making LeBron James work on the defensive end. You heard our studio guys talk about Alston, Turkoglu, and Lewis, that they had to be much more aggressive here in this second half.
The Cavalier lead is down to 9. James over Turkoglu. Howard rejected. James getting in front of the blind side, and a technical foul has been called. A technical foul on Dwight Howard.
You see, that's why they want LeBron on Rafer Alston. They want him to roam and come off the weak side. Look where LeBron is. Comes off the weak side and blocks the shot. Remember now, he was runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year behind Dwight Howard. You know, I talked about coaching Michael Jordan before. We used to use Michael a lot like this when he was in Chicago, coming off the weak side and blocking shots. The one year when Michael was the Defensive Player of the Year, he had over 100 block shots and over 200 steals, and so many of it came from his ability to help off the ball and bother big guys from behind when they don't see him coming.
And LeBron, like Michael, has the freedom to roam and will come up with block shots. Nice play by Lee on the steal, and he's able to beat James, who is going for the block. That was impressive by Courtney Lee. Quick hands on the stuff to get that one by James. It's a 10-point lead for the Cavaliers. James, yes, he is on fire. 30 points for LeBron. He's hit 13 of 18 from the field. Turkoglu for three. A loose ball foul called. It is on Varejao.
Well, Dwight Howard, what Cleveland is trying to do, Marv, when that shot goes up, they're almost trying to face guard him and take him away from the rebound. You used to do this with guys like Dennis Rodman, these guys, where you just say, look, I'm not going to get the rebound, but I'm not going to let him get it either. And that time he got caught with holding the jersey of Dwight Howard, who was so active and quick.
Correction on the last foul. It was Ilgauskas, not Varejao. Lee kept alive by Howard. They try to trap Turkoglu, got it down low. Howard with a nice move, and James stepped away, did not want to commit the foul.
Well, that time he felt LeBron in front of him. He just went over and powered that ball right through him. So Dwight Howard having a terrific offensive game at 24 points on only 15 shots.
11 of 15 for the field, 8 rebounds. Varejao from James. Anderson Varejao got off to the quick start thanks to LeBron James. Varejao cutting successfully. Another bucket for Varejao. Here's Alston, he's open. Alston for three.
Well, that's because LeBron James was underneath the basket going to give help, not even guarding Rafer Alston in the corner. So if they're going to swing that ball, they're going to make LeBron James pay for roaming around there defensively.
Ilgauskas for three. He's been shooting the three this season with success. Orlando within 9. That pass intended for Howard. And a foul. It's on the Cavs.
Off on the Cavaliers, number 13, Delonte West.
It is on Delonte West.
13 foul.
Look at LeBron James now. He's guarding Rafer Alston. He cuts through the corner. Look where LeBron James is. He's almost at the restricted area, and so Alston is going to be wide open. And if he will knock down some of these shots, he will keep LeBron a lot more at home. And then you're going to see other guys get a chance to go to work offensively.
That's 3-team fouls on the Cavaliers. Howard trying to bank it this time on the jump hook. 70-61 Cleveland. They've led by as many as 16. They've had the double-digit lead most of the way. And James was hit by Turkoglu. Cavaliers at home during the regular season, 39-2, best home record in the NBA. The 2 losses to the Lakers, to Philadelphia. 1 point, they won 23 straight at home. They have gone 4-0 here at the Q in the postseason. The Boston Celtics of 85-86 went 40-1. That was the all-time record that the Cavaliers were chasing.
Well, look at 86-87 the year after that, wasn't it? The year after that, they go 39-2. So not a bad record to go 79-3 at home in 2 years. I would say that's taking care of the home court.
And a home court that has been selling out better than 20,000. On hand once again, they've sold out 42 of their 45 home games, including the postseason. And the city of Cleveland has not been able to celebrate a sports championship since the 1964 Cleveland Browns. So here in Cleveland, they're hoping the Cavaliers end the drought. It's been 45 years.
You see the great running back from the Cleveland Browns, Jim Brown, sitting down here. Marvin and I had a chance to say hi to him before the game. A Syracuse alum, you guys.
Hall of Famer sitting courtside. Shot clock is down to 3. Here's Williams. And the ball back to Orlando. There is Jim Brown. 6.5 remaining in this third quarter. Lewis, yes.
Don't look now, it's a 7-point game. So all that great energy from Cleveland to get this game started. They had Orlando on their heels. It's a different Orlando Magic team. I think you're seeing some of that toughness that I talked about. I think everybody thinks of this 3-point shooting team. This team really is at their best when they got a chip on their shoulder and the odds are against them.
Defensive 3-second violation. Meanwhile, Orlando has outscored Cleveland 15-7 here at the start of the third.
I like this, though, getting Rashard Lewis on the move. You heard Charles Barkley talk at halftime about when you play a big guy like a Varejao on Rashard Lewis, if he keeps him on the move and doesn't stand, he can drive that ball past him, catch and shoot like he did, then get it out to the 3-point line. So this guy is so important. When he scores, they're a tough team to beat.
Williams and West in the backcourt. Ilgauskas, James, Varejao up front. Ilgauskas open. And Turkoglu is on it. Hounded by Varejao. Alston around James, rejected from behind. Saved by Howard. Still lots of time on the clock. The alley-oop thrown by Turkoglu. What a beautiful pass, and Howard able to put it down on the reverse.
A little nervous time here at the Q. Not used to close games here. Cleveland has been so dominant at home both in the regular season and in the playoffs.
The lead is down to 6. Shot clock to 5. James, yes. Has he missed a jump shot after that 0-for-4 start?
He's been magnificent.
Howard putting the move on Ilgauskas. Looked like Varejao got it from behind.
That's what they want to do. Swarm down, turn him into a pack, and then try to bother his shot from behind. We've seen LeBron do it a couple times. That time it was Varejao. Oh, what a pass. Wow.
And that'll count. It's a goaltend. Varejao gets credit for the bucket, the assist for LeBron.
You know what happens when you are out there playing against Cleveland? You get caught ball watching. You're watching LeBron, and all of a sudden, Verjau's cutting in behind you. That's got to be at least 4 layups that he's got tonight, just cutting to the basket in the open area.
10-point for Verjau, 75-65, Cleveland. Here's Turkoglu. Pass intended for Verjau. On the turnover, back comes Alston. Lee off the wing. Nicely done.
We have not seen a lot of fast breaks tonight from Orlando. One of the reasons why is Cleveland has done such a great job of taking care of the ball. They only had 1 turnover, 14 assists in that first half. They shoot a lot of threes as being tough, but this team has a lot of mental toughness. They really do.
Just under 4 left in the third. The pass intended for Verjau, deflected out. Last touch by Lewis. Cavaliers have 10 on the shot clock. Joe Smith will check back in.
Number 32, Joe Smith.
Played 7 minutes in the first half. Hit both his shot attempts. Adrinas Ilgauskas to the bench with 8 points, 10 rebounds. Well, West tried to get it down low, and it's broken up. Lee putting moves on Williams and lost it. They trapped him successfully. Smith rebounded by Lewis. Alston and Lee in the backcourt. Petrus is back. He is up front with Howard and Lewis. Shot clock to 5. Alston had it slapped away. Last touch by Cleveland. And now Wally Serbiak will return.
Back on the floor for your Cavaliers. Replacing both.
4 on the shot clock.
Serbiak.
And Serbiak comes on for Williams. Sits down with 12 points, 5 assists.
You can see one of the things that Mike Brown tries to do. He always tries to have 3 shooters and a big guy out there to play with LeBron. So he's always got targets if you're going to double team. And here's Rashard Lewis with a long 3. So he's starting to come to life. Now he has 10, Turkoglu 6. They've combined now for 16.
Now 4 of 11 from beyond that 3-point line. This a team that had great success with the 3-point shot during the regular season. Second in the NBA. Here's James. That was a 3-point attack. Able to follow his shot, tracked it down, and they have the new clock. James wasting no time. Good box out by Howard. Here comes Alston. Petrus for 3. Yes.
That's a concern right there. That is what Mike Brown has talked about for about 8 days. Transition defense. Orlando doesn't run for layups. They run to the 3-point line. All of a sudden, we got a 2-point game here.
And they are a team because of their success from 3-point land. They score in spurts. They have one going right now. 8 consecutive points to move within 2. Shot clock down to 2. James, yes.
And I think if you're Stan Van Gundy, you said, look, we'll live with LeBron James taking long 2s. He had just missed 2 in a row. You can make him be a jump shooter and keep him out of the paint. Orlando's done their job.
Petrus again. That's a 2 for Petrus. Cavaliers up 77-75, and things have really heated up here in the third quarter. LeBron has hit 4 of 5 from the field. In the third, he has 34 points in all, now being played by Lee. James with a long 3. 37 for James. Alston, a strong move. And the foul.
Well, I like what Rafer Alston's doing. I thought he was very tentative in the first half. LeBron James was guarding him. He did not go at him on the dribble at all. You've seen him now 2 or 3 times here in this period. Go to the basket. LeBron stepping back, knocking down another long jump shot. 37 points. And then Rafer Alston just jumps right into the chest of Anderson Verjau. He'll
We got it back to 10. Now let's fight it to 6 right now. Hey, get a stop right now. We had it to 6. It's back to 8. Let's get it down to 4 now. That's all. Just keep fighting. Come on, we're right there. Let's go. We're gonna win this game.
They had 3 in this third period. They have 44 points in the paint, so all of a sudden the inside-outside game, the fast break, and we look up, that's why they're only down 2 points now.
Ray Alston able to complete the three-point play. He now has 11 points for the game. 8 have come here in the third quarter. James is fouled by Howard. That's number 4 on Dwight Howard.
I think Dwight Howard would have been okay on that play had he not brought his arm down. I think they would have given him a little bit of contact with the body. But watch here at the last minute with his arm. Right there. When you bring that arm down, that's going to draw attention to you. They would have given him this little bump right here. But once he brought that arm down, that's going to be a foul.
James 2 of 3 at the line. He has 37 points. He had 26 of the 37 of the first half, which is a Cavaliers franchise playoff record. A reminder, national coverage of the NBA playoffs continues tomorrow on ESPN. Game 2 of the Nuggets and the Lakers. Lakers coming from behind to pull it out last night at home. Coverage starts 8 o'clock Eastern time. Friday right here on TNT. Game 2 of the Magic and the Cavs starting 8 o'clock Eastern time. And then Saturday on ABC Game 3 between the Lakers and the Nuggets. And LeBron James missing on both free throws. And Orlando with a chance to tie or take the lead. They've trailed by 16. Lead comes up short. Here's James on the run. James is fouled.
When you play against LeBron James, Marv, you cannot backpedal. What you have to do is almost turn around and sprint and get to the restricted area. Because watch what happens. You start backpedaling, you can't do that. You're in trouble now when you backpedal because he's too fast and too strong. You got to turn and then try to get to that restricted area right in front of it and try to have him run over the top of it. That time Petrus was just a little slow getting there.
Now Stan Van Gundy going with Marcin Gortat and Tony Battie as Dwight Howard sat down after that 4th foul. Anderson Varejao heads to the bench. Ben Wallace is back.
And Daniel Gibson in the game for the first time. This is a guy who's really struggled shooting the ball, but he's very capable of getting hot.
Remember a couple of years back as a rookie, he had a couple of sensational games against the Pistons.
Now that Game 6 you and I and Steve Kerr did in here, he was fabulous. He was the guy who closed the deal.
And an offensive foul on Petrus.
That's one of the reasons why LeBron James was in a candidate for Defensive Player of the Year. Gets in great position here. Tell you what, Mark, when you look at the Defensive Team of the Year, you know, the guys who made all defense, they're also some of the best offensive players in the league. And I think the guy who set the standard for that was Michael Jordan. Michael was not only the best offensive player in the game, he was the best defensive player in the game. And when you see these great stars playing both ends of the floor, it so separates them from the pack.
And in the past, that award would usually be won by a lockdown defender. There are very few of those.
See, these guys are more spectacular defenders. Shot blockers, guys who go for steals.
Shot clock to 3. James has to fire it up and comes up short. And it's a 24-second violation.
Orlando has to feel very good about how they've worked themselves back into this game. If they don't score, it's only a 2-possession game. And I think the concerns, if you're Cleveland, is really right now the only guy who has it going is LeBron James, Marv. And if they just force him to try to win this game by themselves, they could be trouble in the 4th quarter.
Just 2.4 to go. And now they just changed the clock. And 4.3 remaining. There's Alston racing it down, gets it to Lou, fires.
Coach, after a terrific defensive first half, Orlando put up 30 points in that third quarter. Where were the defensive breakdowns?
You know what, they did a nice job with their pick and pop game. Richard hit a couple of jump shots. We thought PH just hit some tough shots in that quarter too. And we have to make sure that we keep trying to contest, even if we're contesting late to their jump shooters.
LeBron James with 39 points has maintained the lead. Well, he's not getting a lot of help offensively. Who needs to step up?
You know what? Mo had some great looks. He got knocked those looks down. Z had a couple of jump shots that were pretty good. We just have to keep playing basketball, keep trying to get the ball moving. We came to a little bit of a standstill that quarter, and hopefully we'll get the ball going from one side of the floor to the other this quarter.
All right, thanks, Len. Back to Marvin Doug.
All right, Craig, and the Cavaliers got the ball moving on that first possession of the fourth quarter. Mo Williams was able to drill it. LeBron James getting a rest, back on the bench for Shard Lewis again. So he has picked it up, and the Cavs have an 84-80 lead on the Magic.
Well, that's the pick and pop game that Mike Brown was just talking to with Craig Sager. They're getting Rashard Lewis on the move, setting that screen and rolling out.
Williams this time too strong. Good play by Johnson as he's able to deflect it. Oh, look out. Mo Williams and Anthony Johnson being kept apart by Ron Garretson.
The concern right now for Mike Brown is who's going to help him off the bench. Marv, you see games 1 and 2 against the Hawks. So look at games 3 and 4 on the road. Tonight only 5 points. They've been outscored 21-5 off that bench. And now with LeBron on the bench here with a little rest, who's going to step up for the Cavs? There's that Rashard Lewis once again, that pick and pop. The old adage in basketball is keep running the same play over again until they stop you. And right now they don't have any answers for Rashard Lewis on that same play.
He's 6 of 10. He has 14 points. The Magic within 2. Gibson and Williams now in the backcourt. There's Williams making the turn. Gibson lost the handle, recovers. Did not hit the rim, so it's a 24-second violation of the ball back to Orlando.
Yeah, Mike Brown says, I'm getting my star back in the game, LeBron James. He's not going to sit over there very long, and with that violation, LeBron is not going to be able to come in with a substitution. So Orlando has a chance here if they knock down a 3 to take the lead.
Dwight Howard sitting it out after picking up that 4th foul. Gortat back in at the center position. Johnson for 3. Yes! The Orlando Magic, coming from 16 down, have the lead for the first time tonight, and the Cavaliers call for time.
At our best, 7-0 run here by Orlando. That 3-point shooting starting to go, and it's quiet here.
Come on, we're right there now. Don't let up. They have not been here this year. Everything's been easy for them. They don't know about this. We do. All right, let's get it out right here.
They don't know about this.
Right.
We do. And 85 points equals the most that the Cavaliers have allowed the first 2 series of the playoffs. Smith for 3. Oh, the hustle play kept it alive, and James scores. Serbiak hitting the floor and was able to get it to James. So the Cavaliers back up by 1.
And all this being done right now with Dwight Howard on the bench with fouls, so the Magic have played very well with the Gortat into the game.
That pass intended for Gortat, and the outside official Bennett Salvatore says it was deflected out of bounds.
It's a great call right here. LeBron gets that ball. You see that ball is deflected. Here comes Dwight Howard back into the game. So Gortat did his job in there, came in, gave him some good minutes, and Howard now back in for the finish with his 4 fouls.
Shot clock at 7. Turkoglu. And Petrus able to get to it.
Extra shots, extra possessions. Anytime you shoot long jumpers, there's going to be long rebounds.
Johnson trying with 3, rebounded by Serbiak. Orlando only 8 of 22 shooting in the first quarter. Since then, they've shot 65%. And now trailing by 1. Petrus is back on. James. Shot clock to 3. James for 3.
That's a tough possession. When that ball starts sticking, that's what Mike Brown talked about. They're not moving the basketball right now. There's that lob once again. You've got to keep your body on Dwight Howard. I know it's easier said than done, but you cannot let him roll off you, Mark. You have to make him step to the ball and catch it and make a shot.
Howard that time able to beat Smith, who turned his head. Howard 13 of 19. He has 28 points. The Magic up by 1. Here's West, just didn't get it off on time. Rebounded by Howard. He has to be very careful. That time it's on Serbiak. But Howard playing with the 4 fouls.
Great eye contact. This is twice now Turkoglu's made that little pass. You've got to have more pressure on the passer, and you've got to have him step to the ball, even if it means you have to give up and play behind him a little bit. But this is twice now we've seen this tonight with that brilliant pass in the finish.
Anderson Varejao, Zydrunas Ilgauskas back on the floor for the Cavaliers. 8 minutes to play in the 4th. There's Howard putting a move on Ilgauskas and banks it home.
A quick first step again. You know, Ilgauskas does not get his body on him, Mark. You talked about how Kendrick Perkins had his body and made him play against his force. Howard's got the freedom to roam against Z.
An 11-2 run for the Magic. Ilgauskas, yes.
And he can do that. And what will happen is with Howard playing him now, he can drag, he can drag him away from the basket.
Whistle over at the far side by Ron Garrettson, indicating a foul on Mo Williams.
Second team foul.
So the Cavs with their second team foul. 1 point, Orlando leads. And the foul again on Williams.
That time he just thought he was going to run right through the pick of Dwight Howard, hoping he would get a moving screen, which could have been the 5th foul on Dwight Howard. Howard does not move on the play. A little bit he steps out there, but very fortunate here he did not get called for his 5th foul. That would have been his 3rd offensive foul of the game.
Shot clock to 5. Turkoglu. Williams on it. Here comes James. And now looks to pull it back. West for 3. Rebounded by Turkoglu.
So he's just not making shots now. 8 of 27 now for West and Mo Williams. These are guys that all season long have been able to make shots playing off of LeBron James. When you were going to double him and get the ball out of his hands, those guys made you pay. Tonight, not the case. Again, 8 of 27 for those 2 guys.
We've been talking about the superb home record of the Cavaliers. Orlando, one of the best road teams of the NBA, 27-14 during the season. They've won 3 on the road in the postseason. That's a 3 attempted by Petrus, rebounded by James.
You see the confidence that Stan Van Gundy has in Anthony Johnson, going with him now down the stretch instead of Rafer Alston.
Johnson now defending on James. James talking to him. See face guarding by Johnson. And once again, the ball stopped, but James got the step, then lost it. Here comes Johnson. Kicks it out. Petrus. And he's fouled by Williams. That's number 4 on Mo Williams.
Fouls on number 2, Mo Williams.
This is what Orlando did in the regular season, Mark. They shut the lane down. And after the great start that Cleveland had scoring in the paint, they're now being outscored by 14 in the paint. See what happened when LeBron James comes in there. There's Dwight Howard closing it down. The ball knocked out of his hands, and then this is when they want to get out and run. Actually, Anthony Johnson sort of poked that ball away in from behind. And the fast break game, 6 points in the first half fast break, sitting on 16 now. So this could be their 11th and 12th fast break points in the second half, which has sort of changed the game.
Petrus to the line for the first time. Cal Petrus spent 5 years with Golden State, first-round pick of the Warriors, signed as a free agent by Orlando. He's been set back by injuries, been out earlier this season with a fractured wrist. He has really come on in the postseason. And that huge Game 7 against the Celtics Sunday night, 90-88, the Magic on top, 6 minutes to play in this 4th quarter. Varejao gets inside. See Howard stepped away.
See, Varejao can catch that ball in traffic. LeBron has a lot of confidence in him. If he throws that ball, he'll go down and get it.
Game tied at 90. Ball was deflected out by Williams. timeout call. The Cavaliers and the Magic. All even. Orlando coming from 16 back.
So Kobe and LeBron didn't even play in 14 of the fourth quarters, but Hedo, Turkoglu, and Dwight Howard, you see where they are 25th and 51st. So who's going to close the deal here for Orlando?
Dwight Howard called for the travel, the ball back to the Cavaliers. You mentioned Kobe and LeBron not playing in a number of fourth quarters because their teams were involved in blowouts.
Cleveland won 41 games this year by 10 or more points.
Here's Ilgauskas with room. Rebounded by Alston. LeBron James leading the way for the Cavs with 41. 30 points for Dwight Howard. Here's Turkoglu with a long three.
That's what he'll do. We saw it in the Philadelphia game when he knocked down that game winner. The big shots he made. He had 10 fourth quarter points the other day in Boston in that game, 7 to go along with his big 12 big assists.
He has been Mr. Fourth Quarter. Just under 5 remaining. In the fourth, 3-point Orlando lead. Ilgauskas knocked away from Alston, and another possession for the Cavaliers.
Well, the Cleveland offense has come to a standstill. They're not moving the ball, holding it too much. And that clock is starting to work against them.
Williams for 3, way off.
All of a sudden now you start feeling the pressure go to the Cavaliers here at home. Orlando trying to break through in game 1 to get the home court.
Turkoglu try to lead it to Howard. A weak pass picked off. Here's James. He went 1 on 3, and he was fouled up top by Alston.
Well, Turkoglu was going to try to throw another lob to Dwight Howard. He's had 2 of those already. We saw going to break. That time he said the ball slipped out of his hands. LeBron just went up and snatched it out of the air.
Down to 4 minutes remaining in the fourth.
What they like to go to, this little middle pick and roll, 3-1 screen roll to try to get a switch to get Alston to play him.
And here's James, got the step.
That's a money play. What happens is they put Zydrunas Ilgauskas out behind the 3-point line to try to drag the big man away to open up the lane. That's the money play that Cleveland likes to go to.
LeBron now with 43 out of 47-point performance against Atlanta. Turkoglu. Nice move by Turkoglu. 11 points for Hedo and the Magic with a 95-92 lead. And Van Gundy staying with Petrus on James. Shot clock down to 5. James to the left hand.
That's just a brilliant shot. The shot clock winding down once again. LeBron is spending a lot of energy. He's got that ball in his hands about 20 seconds on each possession.
Alston for 3. Vergel on the rebound.
Well, you could feel the fans holding their breath on that 3 from Alston. That would have put them up 4. A timeout, not so much for strategy, but to give your guy a rest. I think LeBron James a little tired here getting this timeout. Well, this is Mike Brown's concern, the prolific 3-point shooting of the Orlando Magic. 5 for 10 in the second half from 5 different guys here, all hitting different angles. Petrus, we've seen Alston, we've seen the great Rashard Lewis. This time it's Anthony Johnson, and then Turkoglu at the top. LeBron goes under that screen, like I said, a little fatigued, so you got to make sure he doesn't start cramping up.
Cavaliers in possession. They are down by 1. There's James. Rebounded by Turkoglu. Petrus forcing James further out to his right. There's Turkoglu. Lewis for 3. The Orlando Magic, second in the NBA in total three-pointers made and attempted during the regular season, setting franchise records in both categories. And earlier in the year, in a win at Sacramento, set a new NBA record as they hit 23 in a game. Williams, right back from downtown.
Boy, he had been struggling. 5 of 17 before he took that shot. That was a gigantic shot by Mo Williams.
Orlando by 1, and a foul as they try to trap Turkoglu. Foul on Ilgauskas.
Now, Mo Williams just sort of fades that three-point line, and Rashard Lewis got to close out on him, make him put that ball on the floor. Mo Williams is not going to run away from his shot. I mean, he's very confident that he can knock him down, and now Orlando's going to be shooting free throws the rest of the period.
Cleveland over the limit with that foul. And Turkoglu out 3 of 3 at the line. TBS Wednesdays, Brown is back. Get the family together for the new season premiere of Tyler Perry's Meet the Browns right after brand new episodes of House of Pain. That's May 27th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on TBS.
Turkoglu, 81% free throw shooter during the regular season. All the Magic guys are really pretty good free throw shooters except Dwight Howard, so it's going to be interesting to see how much he touches the ball here in the last couple minutes, Mark.
Howard only 59% during the regular season, right around that mark during the playoffs. Petras knocked it away, but James recovers. Here's LeBron taking to the rim, and a foul. So James to the line. He's 4 of 7 at the line. He has 45 points, his all-time playoff high. 48 in that sensational game against Detroit back in 2007.
Now watch Mo Williams here. You see off the ball, he and Courtney Lee getting tied up. No call on that play. Courtney Lee saying he's grabbing me. Mo Williams is trying to plead his case with Ron Gerritsen. That's 3 free throws now LeBron has missed in this quarter. And again, I don't want to beat this to death at all, but you know, they have not played that many minutes in the last 8-9 days. I mean, to try to simulate that in practice, you can't do that. The speed of the game in this second half, they've ground down. As they've gotten tired, the ball has stopped moving.
It's a 2-point Orlando lead. A minute and a half to go in the fourth. Here's Lee, Turkoglu, shot clock to 6. Turkoglu draws the foul.
Game, and what we've seen from Cleveland here over the last few minutes, basically the second half, is get the ball in LeBron's hands and let him go to work.
Turkoglu 81% during the regular season, and he's 5 for 5 tonight. 101-98, Orlando. Trying to steal home court advantage from the Cavaliers, although the Cavaliers, similar to the Magic, very successful on the road, as you'd imagine when you won 66 games and won 66 and 16 during the regular season. 4-point Magic lead. Ilgauskas finding Barazan. 2-point game as we come up on a minute to play.
Well, now can this vaunted Cleveland defense come up with a defensive stop without fouling?
Petras very calmly fires up a 3 as Delonte West went flying by. Cavaliers can tie or take the lead. Down to 45 seconds to go in the fourth. West for 3 in the lead. Delonte West off the beautiful look from LeBron James to give the Cavaliers a 1-point lead.
It is toughness under pressure. Mo Williams had not shot it well. He knocked down a 3. Delonte a lot.
Alston watched by Williams. Here's Lewis. Yes! A clutch shot by Rashard Lewis. And the Magic back up by 1. As James to the bucket, draws the foul. The basket counts and the foul. Cleveland has recaptured the lead. And that on Dwight Howard is number 6.
Now, Marv, remember one of my keys I talked about the imprint. Who was going to put their imprint on the game? Was it going to be the MVP of the league or the defensive player of the year? How about this? LeBron James takes the ball right at Dwight Howard, gets the contact, and has the strength and wherewithal to finish this off and try to make this a three-point play. But remember now, the way that Orlando shoots that three ball, Cleveland has got to make sure they defend that three-point line.
James 5 of 9 at the line. It is a three-point play, and it is a new career playoff high for LeBron James with 49 points.
And you see
the game clock and shot clock. Cavaliers up by 2. Lewis pops it out to Turkoglu. Lewis for 3. Yes! Orlando has taken a 1-point lead, and we are seeing clutch shot after clutch shot down the stretch.
See the move on that play. Can't quite close out on Rashard Lewis after a slow start. Rashard Lewis now with 22 points. Will that be enough? Remember now, no Dwight Howard to guard the rim in case LeBron James goes to that basket.
And James puts a move on Petras, who went down. They swing it. Here's West. Not able to hit. He hit from that spot a moment ago. Down to 1 second. And a jump ball is called with 1 second remaining.
Mark, it almost looked like that ball went up and hit the back of the backboard. And if so, that stanchion, that would have been out of bounds. Let's take a look here and see. When that ball is deflected, you see Cortado was going to run at LeBron, get that ball out of his hands. But watch here on this rebound. Does that ball go underneath the basket? Oh, I guess it didn't. I thought it might have hit underneath. So 1 second here for a catch and shoot.
This is nearly impossible off a jump ball.
You know he's going to tip it back to Mo Williams, and Mo Williams is going to be the guy that gets the shot.
Turkoglu and James. Bennett Salvatore with the toss. Here it is. Williams in one motion got it off and went back rim. The Orlando Magic have defeated the Cleveland Cavaliers 107-106.
That was a great opportunity for her. That shot almost went and very close to almost being a foul on that play. Watch this now. Great play here by LeBron, all in one motion.
Against the Orlando Magic. Tip-off time.
Very close to going in. I tell you, this Orlando Magic team, this second half, boy, did they show their mental toughness. There's a shot.
Well, thank you, Marv, with me. Dwight Howard with his 30 points. Rashard Lewis with his 22 and the game-winning 3. You guys were down by 16. Your coach didn't give up. You guys didn't give up. How much did you learn from your Game 7 victory in Boston, and how tough is this team mentally?
Yeah, you got to play 48 minutes. You can't come out here and let them hit us first. We got to set the tone early. We got to hit them first. But the most important thing is you got to play 48 minutes. We felt like we only played one half, and that was the second half only.
You carried this team throughout the game until the game-winning three-pointer. Start out with that dunk that brought down the shot clock. What did it mean to you? I know you played with LeBron during the Olympics. He scored 49, but you guys still came away with a win. How big a victory is this for you?
It's a big victory. We kept fighting the whole game, and that's what we have to do. You know, we fought our way back. I just told my guys we got to keep fighting. The game not over. You know, we believed from the beginning that we was going to win, and we kept fighting.
Congratulations, terrific win. Nice three-pointer. Rashard Lewis, the game winner. They win by 1. Let's go back over to Marv.
All right, Craig, and the